Yo, yo, it is your boy Invincible, and you're watching a new episode of the Gentleman Club Diary. I got a spectacular guest. I was trying to learn a little bit of French, but it's a little. I'm just gonna pronounce her name the way I pronounce it. But she has a lot of amour, and she goes by the name of Chloe Amour. And yeah, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling?
Hi, I'm feeling amazing. I can't believe it's already Monday. Honestly, I thought it was still the weekend.
Yeah, you know what? Time is
I'm
moving.
way more. Thanks for having me. That's how we say
Yes,
it in American.
yes.
Amour.
Amour.
French.
I gotta learn some type of French. I don't know, but oh, you know what? I want to get this straight. Who has better Mexican food, Texas or California?
Texas.
Texas. Holy mo.
I
Okay.
could be biased, but I
Yeah.
will stand by that
You're gonna
forever.
stand by that? You okay?
I've said that since day one, and I continue to say it till this
Hmm.
day.
You're gonna get a lot of hate right now because, to be honest, I've been to Texas. Maybe I need to try more food in Texas. It's a little different for me. I do like it.
There's only certain cities in Texas
Hmm.
that know how to make Tex-Mex right. But if you come from California, which California is a very progressive state, and California is also more of a health conscious state, not the entirety of California, but majority of California. So like when they're making Mexican food, instead of you getting refried beans, you're getting like black beans, which is supposed to be healthier, which is fine, but stuff is like made differently. Um, in Texas, they use a lot of more of like yellow cheese and like red enchilada sauce versus like salsa verde,
Yeah.
tomatillo, because also like even in Mexico, like the actual Mexican food is made completely different than Tex-Mex. Because I remember when I was a kid, I loved like cheese enchiladas con carne, and I was
Yeah.
like, why is the cheese white? Wait, why is the sauce not red? Wait, where's the con carne? Like I'm just like this little kid in Mexico and like not realizing that I'm kind of being a little disrespectful. But Mexican food is great either way. But with Tex-Mex, the whole point that I was trying to get at is that it is very heavy. So if you're somebody who's health conscious, you probably won't like it because it's so fattening, but that's what makes it so good. So say for example, there's a dish, and this is like in San Antonio. This is like from where I
Oh,
was born
different.
because Mexican food made in San Antonio versus made in Austin is going to be different as well. There's some things that I can get in San Antonio that I can't always get in Austin. And because Austin is a very progressive city and becoming more and more health conscious, they have started to make their Mexican food differently as well. So, for example, if I'm in San Antonio, I can easily get a breakfast taco. Breakfast tacos are kind of hard to find in California,
Yeah.
especially like the way that I want them made. Because it wasn't until I moved to California where I learned that people use corn tortillas.
Yeah.
I was so used to like flour tortillas. The only time I would have corn tortillas in San Antonio was like when you would have the little taco trucks and they would give you the mini tacos. And this
Yeah.
was when like a taco was $1. And so
Yeah.
you get like three mini tacos and they were fresh because they were cooking them. It's right there. There's so many taco trucks. And there's a lot of taco trucks in California too. So they do have those similarities with the taco trucks, but like in San Antonio, it's very accessible for me to get homemade flour tortillas. If
Yeah.
I'm on the West Coast, I really have to search
Okay.
for
It
for
depends.
homemade
Yeah, I
flour.
love homemade too. Yes, I love it.
I don't like store bought flour tortillas,
Uh,
especially knowing how much like fat it has in it. I'm like, first of all, it doesn't taste as good.
Mhm.
Second of all, because of my career, I have to watch my weight in a sense that I'm like, why the fuck am I going to eat that? Like, if I'm going to eat that, I want it to be fresh. Like, I need to taste the flour dust
Mm.
off of the tortilla.
Yeah.
And then Corpus Christi, Texas, you can also get good Tex-Mex as well. So it just kind of like depends what part of Texas you're in, because I've been in like Wichita Falls and ugh, like
Nasty.
their Mexican food is not
Yeah.
good.
No, I was in Seguin. I don't know if you know where it's. It's kind of by San Antonio.
I know, yeah, yeah,
I
because
know.
there's like a lot of military bases. So I've met people from like all over, like Seguin, Eagles Pass, El Paso.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do know San Antonio. They had like I think it's a fajita place in downtown San Antonio. That's really good. It's like a big. It has like a
There's like
bakery.
a marketplace
Yeah,
down there, the El Mercado, yeah.
yeah. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
fajitas were like top notch there or something.
San Antonio also every year, which is my favorite time of year there, it's in April. Every year they celebrate Fiesta.
Mm.
So every April in San Antonio, we call it Fiesta. So for the entire month of April, Fiesta translated in English means party.
Yeah.
But for the entire month of April, there's a whole like event calendar. So they'll do different parties depending on what part of the city you're in. And they host a lot of like festival foods and fairs. And so you can get like Mexican food if you want, but then you can also get like a turkey leg or roasted corn. You
Yeah.
know, I've had some of the best roasted corn in San Antonio, so I'm really picky about my roasted corn. And I remember one time, like, I was in Mexico and I saw them like making roasted corn, but I think that like they had the corn already like grilled, and then because they saw me come up and like didn't want to waste food, they grilled it again, and I was like, fuck, this is
Oh,
dry.
damn.
And I was in Mexico, and so I was like, shit, like if I spoke Spanish, like I would have told him like, hey,
Yeah.
you need me like a fresh one, you know. But
Yeah.
since I didn't speak Spanish, I kindly was just like,
Dang.
not gonna do my Google Translate right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be looking at me because there was like a bunch of like stands where you could get different types of like foods. Like, and I love agua frescas.
Oh
So
yeah.
so good. They
Uh-huh.
make it so well in Texas or in San Antonio, because sometimes like in the West Coast, it's like you'll see that little fountain, and I'm like,
Oh, I know. Oh, that's like the pre-made one. Yeah, that's not the real.
is it fresh? Like I want it in
Yeah.
the little jug
Yeah,
with
you want the real stuff. Yeah.
and I can see the fruit in it. And
Uh,
so that's why I mentioned Fiesta, because San Antonio is really big about all that stuff, and it's just so normalized. So when I moved to the West Coast, my friends would kind of get annoyed because even I'm in Vegas now, and so for the holidays, my mom's really big on like tamales.
oh yeah.
And so I was like, I told my friends, I was like, okay, I need y'all to get fresh tortillas for breakfast tacos. And then I need y'all to get, which I meant flour, fresh
Yeah,
flour,
yeah. Flour tortilla.
and the tamales. And they were like, I don't know where to find this. Like and then they told me they had to drive like 30 minutes somewhere just to find like an actual real. So how would you pronounce it?
Oh,
Tortilleria?
yeah, tortilla. Yeah,
That
see, I mean
was
that's people are gonna clown us right now. Yeah.
torta tortilleria.
Tortilla,
Okay,
yeah, no, not a tortilla or tortilla or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
tortilleria.
yeah. But
You
nah,
know what I mean? The tortilla place where they make
yeah. Let's make
tortillas.
them. You ever go down to San Diego where they're like making them outside?
No, I've been to San Diego a few times, but I've never been to San Diego where I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to go to Old Town. They call it Old Town San Diego. It's like a Mexican village spot, and
Okay.
they got like the abuelitas out there, the grandmas out there
That
making them.
and see, that is somewhat kind of what my childhood was it wasn't my grandma, but it was like my second cousins
Mm.
who I'd spend the summer with in Corpus Christi, where their grandma literally would make fresh everything. Fresh tortillas in the morning, fresh pancakes, like everything was fresh, and like there was no health consciousness about anything. It was
Wow,
like
I'm
you have
getting
the farm,
hungry.
you
I'm
have the
getting.
cocoa, you have the flour, like you have the fucking whole bag of sugar, like to make the Kool-Aid or the
Wow.
Rice Krispie treats or whatever it is. And they always had fresh food every day. So it's just like I was just like used to that. I was just used to
Yeah.
that. And so that's why when it comes to flour tortillas, I'm like really picky.
Oh, hey, I love fresh
Like,
flour
really picky
tortillas.
about them.
Love
Yeah.
that. But yeah, you are making me hungry, and I do
Me too. I'm getting hungry too.
getting hungry right now. So, all right. So I want to get into your career here because I know that you said that you did dance, right? Because you were a dancer, like a
Mhm.
is that correct?
Yes. So I started in the industry when I was 22, and that was back in 2013.
Uh-huh.
I was full time, fully active from 2013 to December of 2018. And then I decided to take a full year off in 2019. But to rewind back to the feature dancing, I had started feature dancing in 2015. So I was feature dancing pretty heavily for about 3 years. And I haven't really done it much since I've been back because I'll only do it at certain clubs. Say, for example, like my feature dance agent has very good contracts with the Sapphire clubs.
Yeah.
There's the Sapphire Club in Las Vegas, and then there's like three of them in New York. And then there's also a Peppermint Hippo here in Las Vegas, because since I live in Vegas now.
Yeah.
So it's like if they were to ask me, hey, say for example, one time, I think it was last year, I did Cinco de Mayo at Peppermint Hippo or Sapphire or one of them or both, something like that. Because it's in Vegas, it's easy because I can just go drive and then I don't need to go back to a hotel room. I can go home and sleep in like my own bed. You know, when I go to New York, I am a little sensitive to like the East Coast travel time
Oh,
difference.
time difference. Yeah, messes you up.
Yeah, like it just feels like it's a 9 hours flight, even though it's probably only like 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I don't like feeling like I'm losing time.
Oh,
So I always just feel like I'm tired when I'm there because I'm also a night person. So I don't naturally go to sleep early. And then if I'm going to the East Coast and I'm still on like a West Coast clock, I'm like, damn man, like okay, the East Coast makes me feel like I'm going to another country sometimes just because
the time.
of the flight time plus the time added because of the time difference. Prior to that, I did tell my agent that I also would be open to only doing Spearmint Rhino clubs as well because it's such a huge name. And because they do have one here in Vegas. But when I took my break back in December of 2018, it was kind of a very sudden break. Like the day that I told my agent that I want to take a break from everything was it was actually at night. I was still living in LA. I was supposed to already be at LAX to fly to New York to do a show the next day in New York at a Sapphire Club. And I just got like this overwhelming feeling like I had gotten like a panic attack
Oh,
where I couldn't even go to the airport. And the thing about it was is that my agent already had me booked for 3 months in 2019 every weekend to go to a different club. And this was when like I was like I didn't have restrictions on which club or city that I would travel to. So it's like, oh, you're going to go to Kentucky, you're going to go here, you're going to go here. And so it can get a little lonely on the road, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
doing.
they do allow you to bring roadies, but like I don't always bring one with me. And then I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like I was just such a yes girl as soon as I got into the adult industry doing production company scenes, you know, so I call them pro scenes. So
Yeah,
I'm doing pro scenes and I'm doing mainstream modeling and then I'm doing camming and cam shows and like live sex shows and then I'm doing like feature dancing and then this was before OnlyFans, so I was also shooting my own content to build my own website, so I'd have something of my own, and you know, and it just all kind of felt like I was burning out a little because I wasn't really resting. I was just go, 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 go. I remember friends of mine in LA, they'd be like, they'd come to like the rare occasion that they would come to my house when I was in town. They would come to my house and they're like, what do you need this big house for if you're never here? And I'm like, well, because when I am here, I enjoy my house.
go
And
ahead.
at the time, I had like 5 animals.
Oh, damn.
So, and I was also supporting my dad and my little brother. So I had family living with me. So it was like, well, you know, I have this big house because it's not just me. It's
Yeah,
me and 5 animals and like also 2 other people. And, you know, with me traveling so much, because for the shoots, I would shoot in LA, I would shoot in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, sometimes like Arizona. And then slowly companies were migrating to Vegas. So then I would also shoot in Vegas. So I was traveling for that. And then with all of the feature dancing, it's like, you know, you're going to New York or you're going to like Ohio or how I told you, like Kentucky and like, or Chicago or Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, you know, so you're going to like all these places. So I'm just like, I always had my suitcase open. I
yeah,
never had it closed, put away. It was like literally always open in the middle of my bedroom because I either needed it when I was going to actually like travel outside of the city or I needed it when I was going to go to set because you weren't always provided wardrobe for scenes, you know.
also you
Some
gotta provide.
companies provide wardrobe and some companies don't provide wardrobe. And I remember back then, some companies wanted your whole closet because they didn't like they like had an idea of like what they wanted to shoot of you
Mm.
because they booked you, but then they weren't going to make their decision until the day of. So they're like, well, I don't know if we want her to wear a crop top and denim shorts, or if we want her to wear business attire, or
Yeah,
her to wear a bikini, or we want her to wear like a club dress. So can you bring everything? Can you bring sneakers and sandals and heels and like lingerie and like all of these things? Like my whole closet. So it was just like I was in my 20s too, right? You know, and when I first got in, it was just everything was just so exciting and like very fast paced, and like it just continued. And then before I knew it, five years like went by like that, and I felt like it wasn't fair to myself or to others if I couldn't really give my full self, you
yeah.
know. And I had to pay a lot of money in kill fees to cancel those bookings. And even when they told me how much it was going to cost, like thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
even when they told me how much it was going to cost, I still said, okay, I'm going to pay it, you know, because I want to have a good standing with clubs.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to burn no bridges. You want everything cool.
But I also felt like your well-being is worth more than money.
Yeah.
And so I only had intended on taking a year off. And then when I came back to the industry in 2020 and I was still living in LA, I worked the first 3 months. And during that time, I had already fulfilled my agency contracts for like bookings because I had an agency for like production and then, and like, anything that was like print, but then I had a separate agent for feature dancing. So I had like two agencies, like one for the dancing and then one for like anything else like adult industry related. Oh yeah, also something I forgot to mention was I was also doing like conventions. So it's like I'm traveling, all of those exoticas, like, you're traveling here, traveling there. So it was like you're exhausted. And then when I would get home, it's like I have to take care of myself. So I used to be more of like a gym person where I would work out like 3 times a week, and I would make sure to always have my nails done and, get a facial and take care of my hair. And so it was like, oh, when I'm home, like I don't really have much of a social life because I'm having to catch up on errands and I'm having to like, do my beauty maintenance. And then I also like was sort of in this off and on relationship and then ended up in this like weird love triangle while I was on my break. But to go back to 2020, I had all the intentions of like coming back full force. But because I had already fulfilled my agency contract at the time when I came back, I was independent. So I was only working with directors that had my contact info. So I wasn't really like openly booking. I didn't have anything kind of posted to say, hey, like say for example, like on Twitter, some girls will be like, hey, I'm independent, book me for this, da da da. Like I didn't do any of that. Like I just had responded to like directors who had reached out to me during 2019 told them like, oh, I'm no longer on a break. And coincidentally enough, I worked the first 3 months of 2020 because then in March we had the pandemic and that lasted about 3 years.
Wow.
And during that time, I was in a serious relationship that it was somebody who I had been dating off and on since 2018. And it wasn't somebody who was trying to control me and tell me like I don't want you working in the adult industry, I don't want you doing this, I don't want you doing that. But when they were aware of what had happened at the end of 2018 that carried over into 2019, they told me there. And then when the pandemic hit, they said, well, don't rush into feeling like you need to work. I'm going to take care of you. And in 2020, there was like, I think, a 7 months hiatus, anyways, from production companies. So that's when a lot of performers started to rely on OnlyFans. And so I was doing the OnlyFans a little bit, but because I was in this relationship where technically I didn't have to work, which I'm very grateful and fortunate to have had that. The mix of the pandemic and then just like being used to
Yeah.
like being on this break, it's the 1 year turned into 5 years where I
Wow.
was on break.
Yeah.
So long story short, came back July 2023, and now it's been 2 years. I can't believe it. Can't believe it's already gone by this fast. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I
What happened?
what's been going on. Yeah.
Okay, so basically you got in, so you were in a relationship and then you had a bunch of other, I mean, you kind of got away because of your mental. You wanted some, I mean, what now kind of helps you mentally, like throughout all this stuff? What kind of helps you right now?
Well, I learned a lot about myself in 2019 because I did check myself into a wellness center for 3 months. I was able to come and go. So they call it IOP, which is intensive outpatient program.
Yeah.
So I would go to this wellness center and I would spend 20 hours a week there. And then I would go home. So I was off on the weekends. And during those 3 months, I learned a lot about myself. I had a lot of self reflection. And then I guess throughout that entire 5 years, there was other therapies that I was doing where I was having a lot of self reflection. So that way, when I came back, I knew that I was going to be more focused
Yeah.
because when I got into the industry, I was recruited. So, like I told you, I was only 22. And this was like back when Model Mayhem was like a big deal.
I remember that
Um,
was popular back then.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, because I had actually gotten my start in modeling through Playboy, and I would win under a different name, Chloe Michel, which is also French. So it's not Michelle, it's
You got to
me.
think, Misha. Oh,
Yeah.
is that your dancer name, your stripper name?
Uh, no, no. My feature dancing name was Chloe Amour because the feature dancer is the feature, so I go by my porn name.
Okay.
But back then, Playboy did not shoot porn stars.
Oh,
So, and I was already a part of the Playboy family. So then when I got recruited into porn, I only changed the last part of the name. So that way I could still be connected to Playboy and then also still do porn without there being any kind of conflict. What did I say? Conflict of interest. But all of that has changed so much because ever since Playboy kind of gotten like sold, bought,
yeah.
taken
This.
over, they've changed it. Now they shoot a ton of porn stars. And it's funny because a lot of people don't really know that I did Playboy before porn because I did it under a different name. So only like super fans know, like, oh, like she did Playboy in 2012 and then she got into porn in 2013. And these two people are the same people. Like Chloe Michel is the same as Chloe Amour. So it's like I have these aliases, I guess.
Do you still have like fans that follow you from back then, follow you now religiously, or did they some drop off, or they?
No, most of them still do. I think the only ones that might not follow me anymore might have something to do with whatever relation status that they're in
Oh yeah.
and their partner is not comfortable with them, chatting with a porn star online, or maybe doesn't even want them watching porn, or they had fallen. I don't want to say obsessed. I don't say obsessed because that sounds
Yeah.
negative, but they've fallen really hard for Chloe Amour, and
Mhm.
I think that they want to know Chloe, who like without the amour, and
I know you real, real.
realize that it's like you have there's that fine line between the fantasy and the reality, and they know the reality is that they can't have me.
Yeah.
So then they take a break because it's too hard for them to like talk to me or see my face or anything.
No,
Yeah, so that's the only time where I've had like someone who was very loyal, a loyal fan disappear.
I was
Because
talking.
they fell in
Yeah,
love.
I ran a strip club, right? That's kind of how I got into this whole round.
Okay, okay,
And I would meet customers that they would come in and they'll tell me they're dating one of the dancers, or they would think they're dating one of the dancers. And
okay.
and then they'll say, "Oh, well, I'm taking a break from her and I'm gonna start dating this other dan-" And in their mind, they thought they were really dating the dancers. So
Mhm.
I'm wondering if you ever had anything like that. Like say somebody's gifting you something, they're sending you gifts. Do they automatically think like they can be in an online relationship, or I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering what goes through some of these people's minds.
Well, I am very good at GFE, which is girlfriend experience, because I don't look like the typical porn star. I don't like the stereotype. And I also don't talk like the typical porn star stereotype. I'm not like, oh my God, yes, like all day long. Like sometimes we'll just talk about like
Oh, yeah, yeah,
one that lives in Alaska, and sometimes we'll just talk about our pets.
yeah.
You know, it's not always about sex. So it just depends. It just depends on the person. Yeah, it just depends on the person. Because my super loyal fans, or my super fans, my die hard fans, have been there from supporting me from the beginning. It's not all about sex for them. But the only time I think somebody thinks they're really dating me is if they've encountered an account that's impersonating me.
Oh,
I actually had it a couple days, and this is something that happens a lot, but there was something recently, a couple days ago. Somebody sent me a message through one of my apps. So I'm signed up with this sexting app called Minx,
uh-huh.
and it's a sister company of Sex Panther. And I had never done the Sex Panther, but then when they created Minx in last year, they launched it last year. They wanted me to be a part of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like I remember hearing about the original company, that I can trust the sister company, and so I signed up for it. So then a couple of days ago, I had checked it, and one of the messages on there was like somebody sending me saying like I didn't know what they were talking about.
What is
And
that?
I guess I could go in my phone and read the message, but I don't know if I really want to like out them, because then it's their
They could be anonymous. They just
but they were basically like asking me asking me if I'm located in a certain city and state that I've never been to before,
Mhm.
and that they had been talking to me for 8 months, and that they wanted to know if they had really been talking to me because they had considered sending me money. And
Oh,
they didn't say what the money was for, but in the message it said consider loaning money or something. So basically somebody had catfished them for 8 months,
dang.
and then was asking them for money, but they thought that they were really dating me, or the idea of me. But what was weird about it too was is they were like, "Hey, is this your real name?" Which it was like, I think it was like Lauren something. And then are you located in city and state that I'd never been to before? And then because I've been talking to you, or I think I've been talking to you for 8 months, and then they brought up the money thing, and then they're like, I just want to make sure that it's you. And
Wow.
I'm like, no. Do you see anything on the internet that says that I go by the name Lauren? No. Do you see anything on the internet about me being in Anchorage, Alaska? No. Like, if you go and Google my name, you can see my birthplace. You can see the aliases, which is my porn name and my previous Playboy name. Um, and you can also find interviews and podcasts of me telling people that Chloe is my real name. So why would I go under a pseudo name
Right.
Lauren? And why would I would never ask anybody for money. Um, the only time I'm going to ask you for money is if you're asking me for content and I'm going to tell you how much it costs.
Yeah,
And then it's like you got to pay to play, you know?
makes
That's the way
sense.
it works.
Yeah.
But I've also gotten emails of somebody from Texas that they found out information because they know that I was born in San Antonio. They know that my family's from Corpus Christi. So they were like, oh, my friend thinks they're talking to you. Somebody sent me an email. And this was probably last year. Because I'm just trying to think. There's been so many occasions,
Get
but I'm
stalkers
trying to
in.
think off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, they're like, listen, like, I think my friend's being catfished, but they don't believe me. So I'm emailing you and I want to ask you, like, and they asked me some questions. And I'm like, I can get why your friend would maybe think that they're actually talking to me because, yes, I was born in Texas.
Mhm.
Yes, my family is from, or my parents are from Corpus. Or no, yeah, my family is from Corpus. But they were saying something of like, that him and his friend are located in Texas and thought that they were going to be able to meet me because I'm visiting my grandma in Texas.
Wow.
And I said, my grandma passed away like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that, like, the one that, well, well, so one of my grandmas like is still alive,
Mhm.
but one of my other grandmas passed away 2 years ago. So the way that that message was worded was that I was going to visit my grandma because she was sick, and I was like, no,
Wow.
she passed away like 2 years ago or 4 years ago. It was just like people were trying to find out information about me. I've seen accounts screen record old videos of me and create social media accounts and upload those and like try to pretend that like it's a real account. I've seen impersonators completely copy and paste my entire bio and like then they'll do like individual posts like writing in the captions like send me DMs.
Oh, damn.
In the bio they'll have like the exact text that I have in my real bios and like a real link of me, but then they're trying to
They're trying
probably
to, yeah.
get somebody through the DMs.
Man, that's tough. So do you deal with stalkers like currently? Like, do you ever deal with?
Mm, I actually have two, and one is still very active.
Yeah, I would assume that people get obsessed with you. Yeah, that's
Yeah, there's one that is still 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Been stalking me for almost 8 years.
damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The other one calmed down, but the one that's been doing it for 8 years, he uses different phone numbers, different emails. He contacts models that I know. He'll go on to my social media accounts and contact people that I know, whether they're in the industry or not in the industry. And when they are in the industry, he'll offer them large amounts of money to try to see if, like, hey, can you reach out to Chloe Amour to do a video chat with me, you, and her? And he'll offer them like an absurd amount of money. And then the model will contact me and say, hey, I have this fan that wants to do a Skype with us or a video chat with us, and they're going to offer us like really good money. And I said, babe, I already know who this person is. And I don't really want to give too much details, but I will politely decline. And then if the messages won't stop or the inquiries won't stop, then I have to finally tell the models and warn them this person's been stalking me
yeah.
for like, and it's more cyber stalking. It's not like they've shown up at my house or anything, like, thank God, but like they will not stop creating different emails, different phone numbers, and contacting a bunch of people like that I know. So, yeah, I have one. I mean, like I have crazy emails from them. So, like offering me like 20 grand to have dinner. Now, the thing about it is that I know they have the money because this is a fan that used to uh take me to meet and greets for like say Ariana Grande, Jennifer Lopez, Demi Lovato. And then when stuff started to go south, I could have saw Lady Gaga. I could have saw Gwen Stefani. I could have saw Katy Perry. And these are meet and greets where like I literally would have VIP tickets to the shows and I would get to meet the artists and take photos with the artists. And they were like trying to bait me. And I was like, no, I can't accept any of your gifts because I don't want you to be confused and think that if I'm accepting your gifts, that you're going to think everything's okay with us because everything's not okay. And so when they don't get their way, they become very angry, and you'll see the shift in the way that they speak to me in the messages, especially if I don't respond. And then they'll start doing that to models that I'm friends with, where like they'll get mad at them because that model wasn't able to somehow convince me to want to
Yeah.
have a video chat or do a custom video for them or whatever, because it's like, no, I'm not giving them anything, because that person in particular thinks that they can control me with their money. They're like, oh, well, if I'm offering you money, you have to do what I say. You want the money, don't you? And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could look at my phone and probably find some crazy email because I normally just like block all of the emails. So
Yeah.
I stop getting them. And then that's how I know that they keep creating
Fake accounts.
new emails.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
I have a question then. So what about this is more on a relationship status. Would you prefer a guy to be able to like, because some women are they like somebody that could put it down on them in the bedroom, right? But then some girls are like, I'm not really worried about that. I rather the stability of having security of somebody that can take care of me financially. So what would you prefer to have?
So I would say at this point in my life, I'm in a mix of both.
Uh-huh.
The mindset that I had before I went on a break from the industry, I I was the second thing that you said. I
Okay.
was like cared more about, you know, the way the person's going to treat me and the stability and the security, and you know, because I didn't have that growing up with my dad. So I think that's why if I'm going to be dating somebody and then potentially start a family with them, I need to know that they're going to be reliable and be able to be there. You know, not just say that you're going to be there, but you're going to like show that you're going to be there. Because, you know, I grew up with a single mom, and I didn't like that work took so much time away from her,
Yeah.
from me. And then with my dad kind of being in and out of my life, it's like I'm alone. And then I just felt like it's much easier in a household when you want to build a family if there's two incomes. So, like, I need to be able to know that that person can stand on their own 2 feet, but as well be able to provide for a family if we get to that point in our relationship. Now, since I've been on break and I've been back, I've realized that I can have both. I don't need to settle, you know,
Yeah.
because have you ever heard of the 5 love languages?
Possibly, but please enlighten me on this. What are the
Okay,
love
so
languages? What are the
there's
five?
there's a love language test that you can do.
Okay,
And
let's.
so I'll mention my 5 love languages in order. And so for me, number one is quality time in a relationship. Like, I need you to have time for me. So that means you need to like text me or call me, especially if it's long distance. Like, you need to text me every day. um, and then you need to be able to make time for me. Like, are we going to see each other this week? Are we going to see each other next week? Like, are we going to see each other this month? Like, I need you to make time for me. So quality time is extremely important because it shows that, not that I'm expecting them to make me a priority, but it just shows that like you must really like me because you're taking time to spend with me when you could be doing 100 other things. Now, the second on my list is receiving gifts. And so that's when that stability and security comes into play.
You talking
That's
about physical gifts?
receiving gifts can mean anything. It can mean anything from like, he takes me on a trip, he takes me on a shopping spree, he got me groceries, he got me flowers. Just it could receiving gifts could mean anything. And what's weird is that when I was younger, I was about 8. I'll never forget it. My mom told me to never turn down a gift. So, because there was a kid in my school that had a crush on me, and I only liked him as a friend. And also, I wasn't allowed to like boys, anyways. So, I
Yeah.
was really thinking that way, anyways. And then I remember telling my mom, I was like, oh, this boy, like he made me this little card and like wanted to give me candy, and I didn't feel right about accepting it because like I want him to know like I only think of him like as a friend. And then my mom said, you never turn down a gift. That's so rude. You don't do that. Like you can still be friends, but like they took the time to make that card for you and get you that candy. Like don't turn down a gift. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So ever since then, like I've never turned down a gift. And then skip jump too, I come into this industry and then it's known for like fans giving you gifts. And like I think when you get used to that, it's like, hey, like if I'm going to be dating somebody, like my fan who's never met me in person is giving me a gift, but the guy that wants to like hang out with me every day, like I mean, you can take me out to dinner.
Yeah. You
That's
know what?
it.
I suck at giving gifts, like physical gifts, but I think I'm dope like at doing trips or doing spontaneous things that you would never expect to do. I think
Like
I'm
gifts can literally mean anything to me. Like
yeah.
it could mean like we're walking on a like we're on a nature walk and then you like picked a flower and like gave it to me, whether that's corny or cheesy, that can be a gift because that means like you're thinking of me. And
Um,
then of course I'm gonna make a wish on the dandelion. And then
yeah.
it's gonna be like the best day ever. And they'll be like, oh my God, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Especially when they surprise me with a gift. I'm like, it's not necessarily about the gift. It's about the thought. It's about the thoughtfulness. Okay, so then there's five love languages. So the third one is um, acts of service. So that's somebody who's like opening your door, helping you take out the trash, helping you with like your groceries. Say like, I have dogs, they're helping me like, hey, I'm busy right now. Like, can you go take the dog out? Acts of service, right? The fourth one is words of affirmation. So that's like, oh, hey, babe, like you look so beautiful. Like, oh, hey, I'm really proud. I see you working so hard, things like that. Words of affirmation, they're kind of words of encouragement. They're just kind of words to like let that person know, like, I appreciate you and like I see like what you're doing. And so they give you affirmations to make you feel good about yourself. The last on my list, which is the fifth one, surprisingly, considering what I do for a living, is physical touch. Because before I got into the industry, right, I was still very young, and I didn't lose my virginity till I was 18. And I was always stuck on this like Texas mentality of like, you have to wait till marriage in order to have sex. And then that has to be your husband forever. And then you need to have kids and da 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 da. Right. So I told myself, I was like, okay, if I'm not able to hold out until marriage, then I'm not going to care what the body count is anymore. Right. So obviously, one drunken night, I lose my virginity. I'm already 18. And then it's like, I was a free spirit, you know, I was a party girl. I was wild in a classy way, but I was still promiscuous. And that part of like what I went through during that time was also a stepping stone to me saying okay to do porn, because it was like, here I am going to these parties. You know, when you're born and raised in a city, like it's really easy to know everybody, regardless of how big the city is.
Yeah.
Because there's like click, 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 click that all like intertwine with each other. So it's like I could be talking to some guy from like click one, and then he may know the guy I used to be talking to from click five.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, y'all are best friends now? Oh, because you're mad at me? Okay, okay, okay. I didn't like the double standards. And even though it was like, oh, I'm enjoying pleasure and I'm being free, it's like I felt very unappreciative. I felt like there was double standards. I felt like, oh, well, I'm not ready to make you my girlfriend because I want you to only talk to me. But yet they're allowed to talk to like 10 girls, you know?
You know what?
Um,
Oh,
so
Brian.
physical touch, just like, I guess after getting into the industry, I felt like I'm not going to give it away for free. And then now, like, you know, because I'm so experienced, like, if I'm with my partner, I can lead the way if I need to lead the way. Because
Oh,
I've always mentioned too, like, I'm not a size queen. It's
mhm.
about how you use it, because you can have the most hugest, biggest thing in the world and not know how to fucking use that thing. Or you could have one that's like this small and somehow know how to use that, right? So for me, physical touch is last. And also, when it comes to like physical attraction, I feel like I just immediately get a red flag. I'm like, if I'm physically attracted to this guy, I just get this red flag where I'm like, I can't trust him. I
Off of
can't.
physical attraction. That's
Yeah.
odd.
And I
So
think that's why I'm not really, I think that's why the physical touch isn't as important for me, because I already get it so much like with work
mhm,
that I'm not going to like, you know how some girls, they get caught up on the guy because the sex is so good, but he treats her like shit,
mhm.
and you think you're in love, but you're really in lust. And so I learned that early on before I got into porn, that I'm not going to allow that type of behavior anymore.
Uh-huh.
And I care more about somebody who was being thoughtful and like, you know, who could potentially grow on me, because I'm attracted to like how people treat me. Like, do you make me laugh? Like, were you being thoughtful in like the date that you set up for us, you
Yeah.
know? So like I find those qualities attractive. So like physical touch is just last for me. But I also know that I can still have both. Like, I'm, of course I'm not going to like end up in a relationship just because of security.
Yeah.
If that was the only thing that I cared about, I would have been married like 4 times by now.
Okay, so then I have a question then too. Then what's your thoughts on like couples going 50-50? Like say on a date 50-50 or bills 50-50. What's your thoughts?
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I think that's okay.
Okay, I'm not trying to sound like a simp because I'm gonna be real. For a while, I had the mind state of nah, the girl got to kind of meet me halfway, or at least act like she's gonna meet me halfway. But I think us as men, now that I'm getting older, I'm realizing that I think us as men should be able to put it down. Like we should be able to hold our own and make sure that like, yo, we got it. But
Yep.
what I do like to see is I like to see if we go out to eat, like say we went out to a restaurant, I would like just even if you're just BSing me, I just like to see the effort of like, oh, I'll pay. Of course, I'm not gonna let you, but I just want to see some type of effort. So I,
Right.
so I don't feel like I'm getting used. I don't know.
Right. So that could also be like an act of service for you, where
Yeah,
it's showing like the girls taking initiative to do something for you, or
yeah,
even a gift or whatever. The thing with me is like, yes, I do believe in equality. Like, I do believe in equality in partnership. I have also mentioned in other interviews that, like, for me, it's already hard to date because of the industry that I'm in, but also, I don't like it when guys think that I should be the one to pay because I make more money than them.
Oh, dang. So what if
Uh,
you got to see someone that,
that's really a red flag for like that's like a complete turn off for
yeah.
me. Because it's like I don't care if you have two pennies. If you want to take me out on a date, this is what it is. And if you can't afford that, then I'm not the girl for you. Because I've worked so hard and I've sacrificed so much and I fucking earned everything that I have that I'm not gonna allow some mooch to try to like did you go get fucked in the ass today? I don't think so. So you can take me to
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's kind of my mentality. Now, for me when I'm dating somebody, when it starts to go into a like a 50-50 route, it really just depends on like where I'm at in that relationship. Like, how serious is that relationship? How long have we been dating? Those are a lot of factors. Because a lot of times, like, I do tend to date guys that do make more than me. So they've never expected me to pay
yeah, to pay.
anything they want to pay. Like,
Okay. Yeah,
and traditional roles that I do believe in, even though I live an alternative lifestyle, is I do believe in the traditional role. And I've spoken publicly about this before and I've gotten backlash for it, but I'm going to still say it again is that the man in the relationship is a provider and the woman in the relationship is a nurturer. So if there becomes a point in time where I get very serious with this person and this person wants me to have children with them. Like, you want me to take care of your kids, right? Which is where that nurturing comes in. You want me to stroke your ego, right? That's where that nurturing comes in. So I need you to be able to go and show that you can provide not only for yourself, but that you can provide for both of us, because then that will also let me know that you can provide for any offspring that I
yeah.
may bring into this world, because like what? I got to do everything? Like, that's not
No,
fair.
honestly,
You
I think,
pay the kid for 9 months? No.
yeah, I think us as men, we should be able to hold it down. I think that's just our job as a man. We got to hold it down. I don't want nobody taking care of me. I got to take care of my own, and if I got to do what I got to do for her, then I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I like to feel financially stable, definitely.
Yeah, I'm very big on like independence and financial security, and it's not all about money. It goes into like how you also said, it's like it's stability too,
Yeah,
it's reliability too, right? Because people can promise you like so much, but those are words. I need to see like your actions, because how do I fucking know, like, what if you're just gonna abandon me one day, like, and then you took advantage of me because you felt like, well, she makes more money than me. She should be able to pay for everything. And then, like, well, now I can't handle it because she does porn and I'm going to go over here. So it's just, I won't even date guys that if they try to, if I sometimes I ignore red flags, but sometimes I'm just like, if you're already like fighting me on who's paying for dinner, then this is not gonna work.
I was watching it was some, you know who Joe Dispenza is?
Say it again.
Dispenza.
Joe,
Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right.
like it keeps cutting out when you
Like
say
he's
it.
like all into Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza.
Yeah. I'm probably saying his name.
Maybe if I saw a photo.
Yeah, I got one of his books in my living room. But
Okay.
long story short, he was talking about like how you know how animals like before like say somebody's walking by, animals that the dogs start barking or something. They already have like they have like a what do you call that? They have a sense. They could sense somebody nearby or they sense maybe danger or whatever. They're saying we have those same senses where we can meet somebody and we can sense like the energy, like bad energy, good energy, whatever, but we tend to ignore the energy and we want to give people like the benefit of doubt. And
Right.
that's when we get ourselves in trouble. And I witnessed that because I've done that plenty of times throughout my life.
I've done that too as well.
Mm.
Yeah, because I always want to see like the good in people. And then I also like I don't want people to think that I'm like some sort of gold digger or something or that like I'm entitled or whatever. But I refuse to be taken advantage of. And I also refuse for that person to try to make it like to try to put me in that light and say, oh, you're taking advantage of me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm fucking you, aren't I? Like, what the fuck? Like, the words of Drake shouldn't have to fuck for free. Like, come on. Like, it's like the dinner.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you took me to dinner. We hit it off. Like, it's so funny because there's sometimes where like I don't really date very much because I'm very picky. Like, I have to be able to Google the people.
So you're like, who the hell is it? So you Google everybody? You Google numbers too?
If I can't Google you, then we need to have like some sort of mutual contact
Mhm.
because I get nervous. Like, I don't want another stalker. I don't need any creepies. Like, I just, like, I'm super picky. And then I don't really go out. And also like I do prefer to meet people organically, but because I don't really like socialize a lot, sometimes I'm meeting people like through Instagram or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, at least I'm able to see something about them. And obviously, they're able to see something about me.
Yeah.
So there's that transparency there. But some issues that I run into is like, guys with money, they want to like control me. That's
Yeah.
the downside with that.
See,
Um,
yeah.
but
You know what? My thing is like I don't believe in I don't want ever to put a leash on my girl. I'm gonna let her do what she does. And if she ever does me wrong, then I'll let karma serve its purpose. But I'm
right.
not here to hold no one. If they don't, even if somebody, I don't want to, like, how would that feel for me to want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with me? Like, I feel uh, like, nah, I'm good on that. I know my, who I am and I'm comfortable who I am. And if somebody doesn't want to be with me, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah. 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 I'm also like I come from humble beginnings
Uh-huh.
and I continue to carry that with me. Uh which is why since I've been back, like I do work a lot, but I also try to take breaks so I don't burn myself out the way I did
Yeah.
before. Um but shit, I was losing my train of thought. I was gonna say I was going to say that I'm high maintenance. So, regardless of me being more of a modest person and staying grounded and staying down to earth and staying humble, I still am high maintenance. So, like, I will pick up on that too when I'm talking to somebody.
Mm.
For example, there was like this skater guy that I was talking to, and like when I first met him, like I didn't think much of it. And then it was the second time where I met him, I got like really stoned and I got kind of like horny. And I was like, well, you're kind of cute. Like, I'm into skaters. Like, in high school, I date, like, I mean, I wasn't allowed to date, but like, I talked to some skater boy or
Yeah.
whatever. like, let me relive my teenage dreams, you know, my fantasy or whatever. And the sex was really good, but that's where, you know, I started to notice like I'm kind of a little too high maintenance for this guy. I don't think this is going to work out. Like I can just feel it. Like it doesn't matter how good of sexual chemistry we have. Like that's why when you're asking me about like physical touch,
Yeah.
like it's not on the top of my list because there's so many other things in reality, like
Okay. Are you so?
reality.
Yeah. Do you like material things? Like, what do you mean high maintenance? Like, define more exactly what.
Like I mean, you know, just like I don't like bugs, so make sure you need to like keep the doors
Oh
closed.
no, that.
I need to like wash my hands.
Okay. Yeah, I'm big on that too. Yeah.
You know, sometimes
And your fingers
like
clean.
not keep things messy,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Like I'm kind of more proper at, you know, the dinner table and a kind of a little bougie. I can be a little bougie, you know, with the way that I travel. And so it's like I need these things to
But you
feel
don't have manners. You like,
clean.
yeah, you like manners, good manners, cleanliness. No, that don't sound too bad. I mean, I was
Like,
thinking,
let me tell you a story, okay? One time we were driving down Topanga Canyon, and this is in California.
yeah, yeah, I know what it's like.
They drive so crazy, and all of a sudden they brake while we're on the canyon. They reverse back. They picked up a fucking hitchhiker
Oh, nah.
without asking me. We
Okay.
were on our way to the beach,
Yeah,
and and so this is not my car. I don't live in LA anymore, so it's not like I can just like Uber home,
yeah.
um, because I was staying with them at the time. And I started texting my friend. I was like, "Hey, girl, I think I'm gonna need to stay at your house. Like, this fucking guy just fucking picked up like a homeless person on Topanga Canyon, and like it smelled like you could
Yeah,
smell that."
you smell the urine and everything. Oh, man.
And like the guy was nice. Like he was in the back seat and like he was nice and everything. Like it was a hot day outside,
Yeah.
hot day in California. And so my friend who was driving the car, I'm just gonna call him a friend.
Um,
You know, he starts talking to the guy and he's like, "Yeah, it's pretty hot out there, huh? Like, where are you going? I can drop you off." And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't even ask me if I'm okay.
yeah.
Like, I have like a phobia, you
Uh-huh.
know, of some things. So, like, and I watch a lot of true crime. So I'm like, this guy could fucking slit my throat from the back seat and you just picked him up? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So that's me being high maintenance. Is like don't pick up hitchhikers, okay?
Okay, well, yeah, no, I don't be doing no weird stuff like that. But no, I thought you were meaning like buying, like one thing that I would want my girl, because I'm like a feet guy, so I want like her feet to be done all the time. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that would,
No, it's not weird at all.
yeah,
It's good. It's like you want the person to look good. You because then that shows you that they take care of their hygiene, you
yeah,
know?
that thing, or like them wearing heels in the bedroom. Like I don't know, I just,
Yeah, I had a couple exes where I built a shoe collection because they kept buying me bedroom shoes.
oh
And I
yeah,
was like, I would straight up tell them, I was like, you know, I'm like, these shoes are so beautiful. Thank you. You know, these shoes aren't practical, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to wear these out. Like, maybe I'll wear them to dinner, but I know they're going to kill my feet. And then they're like, gorgeous. They're bedroom shoes. And I'm like, okay.
I like that. So bedroom, so buying.
Okay, but I'm just letting you know they're gonna just sit in my closet until we have bedroom time.
I
Yeah,
think,
because I had a couple exes that had shoe fetish.
yeah,
So,
I think all girls should have bedroom shoes for the bedroom. Yeah.
mm.
But see, the worst thing is like if a girl has beat up feet, it don't matter what kind of shoe she wears, it's not gonna happen. Hey, my bad if for the girls that do have beat up feet. But
I mean, let's say she normally has a fully pedicured feet, and then maybe something happened where her feet are going through something that she's healing from, and so that's why her feet look jacked. But I'm sure she would probably warn you, my feet don't normally look this way, and
sometimes
explain
they
this.
do, but sometimes like they're girls, they wear some sexy heels, and then their fingernails are like, I mean, their toenails are either like super long and they're all chipped. And you're like, oh, do it. I'm sorry. I've had girls like they try to hook up with me, and I'm like, I look down. But see, some girls say that about teeth, and I don't have like the best teeth, so I'm like, all right, well, sorry that my teeth are not straight on the bottom. But hey, it is what it is. So everybody has like their preferences, and I'm cool with it. Like I said, I'm cool with myself on how I look. So
Yeah. That's when you start to like go into what you're willing to compromise over and what you're not willing to compromise over. Ultimately, at the end of the day, for me, it's quality time and respect and honesty that is the most important over money any day, over anything material,
yeah,
over sex. Like, I need you to make time for me. I need you to respect me when you're with me, when you talk about me, when you talk to me, and I need you to be honest. And I don't care if you're brutally honest. As long as you're fucking honest, then I know that I can trust you. And that, because I have my own money.
mhm,
I do porn for a living, so I have sex frequently.
yeah,
So, and then there's the good old vibrator. So it's like for a person, it's to me the number one thing that's always going to matter is how you treat me. Because, there's a lot of rich assholes out there and they have tons of money and they talk down to women, and I'm not you will not catch me being with somebody like that. Absolutely not. We will get into an argument.
yeah. See, and I think me working running the strip club, right, for so many years, like a lot of girls, and I mentioned this in other episodes. I interview a lot of strippers, and they've told me this. They said, like, thank you for treating me like a human being.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I try to treat everybody. Like if I go to a store, I try to treat everybody respectful. I don't ever try to, I definitely do my best to keep my ego in check. That's one thing I do try to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I will say though, because you had asked me about my stripper name in the beginning.
mhm.
So prior to me getting into porn, there was a short period of time where I was a dancer. I was 19 and I did it for about 6 months. And this was in San Antonio, and my stripper name was Heidi. So there's a little fun fact there. Heidi coming to the stage.
Oh, dang.
What was interesting though is the first club I ever worked at, that club, did not have stripper poles.
No? So what did you do? When you
You
got on?
just dance and like, you'd have like mirrors, so you
Oh,
would kind of, because there was three stages. There was
yeah.
like one stage and then like two side stage, and then you would like do rotations.
Yeah.
So it was really it's really interesting because like I didn't learn how to do pole dancing until I had dabbled into feature dancing.
So,
But one thing I've always said too is that I like to say dancer. I know there's the word stripper, but I always say that being a stripper or an exotic dancer, it's such a hard job. Um, I respect them so much because that was the only way you could get me back into dancing at a gentleman's club, was because I'm the feature. If I was just a house girl, I mean, it would be it would not be fun for me. I
mm,
don't like going up to guys asking them for dances and money and any of that. And then I remember when I was 19, I got excited when someone wanted to take me to the VIP room, And then I go to the VIP room, and then he's like trying to do a little bit more naughty things. And I had just lost my virginity like a year prior.
Watch
So still kind of innocent, like, and I'm just like, God, I was so fucking naive. Like, I really thought it was just dancing. Like, because, he wants to like
yeah,
lick my nipples or like put a finger in or me grab him on like rub him or something. And this was so long ago. So it was just like, I just remember how hard it was for me. And I remember early on in my career, because when people would ask me, like, the history of my life and my career and everything, I would tell people, I was like, I will pick porn any day over
dancing.
being a full time dancer, as a house girl, as they called it, right? They make lots of money, they're good at it, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It is a hard job. It's
What's
hard.
the, yeah,
I say that because I feel like a lot of people don't have respect for them, and I would love for them to consider putting themselves in their shoes and what they have to go through, because how you mentioned that a lot of the girls appreciated that you treated them like a human being instead of an object. And so it's really hard to kind of just like deal with that, because you have to somehow figure out how to shut that off when you go home. And then you're also on this like weird body clock schedule, especially if you're doing night shifts.
yeah.
So there's a lot. And when you walk into that club, you have to, it's kind of like for me, when I walk on a set and the camera goes on. I'm
You,
this Chloe Amour actress. You know, when you go into the strip club and you clock in and you go onto the dance floor, and like, let's say her name's Heidi. It's like Heidi. She's not who she was before she came into that door. Like, she's in like beast mode right now. Like, she's here. Because, there's a lot of them that are like single moms too. There's a lot of them where their fucking broke ass boyfriends are like, I'm okay with you stripping, but then they like sleep all day and expecting her to
uh,
come home and
bums,
pay for
man.
everything.
Yeah.
So I just have so much respect for them, because it's a really hard job.
When we
And I
got,
just more people would know that and understand that, because they think like, oh, she's choosing to just go shake her ass and be a slut. And it's like, no, babe, like, it's so much more than that. Like, you have no idea.
you know what I told somebody? Because they were saying that they're like, oh, they're all whores, this and that. And I said, you know what? A lot of people have, like, I realize in life that we all have certain issues as far as like what we're dealing with in life. Even if you were rich, you probably have certain issues of maybe communication. There's so many things that all of us are going through. Some of us are on survival mode and we're just trying to make it. We're just trying to survive, trying to stay afloat. Then other people's they might be afloat, but they might be dealing with drug problems or different things. We all have certain things, and no matter I think how much money you have, we still don't have it figured out, in my opinion.
Right, right. That's why there's still, like you said, like, substance abuse issues, and there's still high suicide rates. And it doesn't matter if
Yeah,
you're an A-list celebrity or you live on the streets, like, there's still something. Because that's the thing. Like, money doesn't buy happiness. Money buys convenience, and money helps the world go around because we live in a material world. But, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't buy happiness at all. It's more just convenience and stability. But yeah, you have to have a very strong mental to work in those clubs, because you can get caught up into like, substance abuse as well. For me, in August, it will be 9 years that have not had alcohol.
shout out
Um,
Chief. I didn't drink today, by the way, and I have a bar behind me, but I drank coffee. So I said I want to make sure I do not drink.
you're gonna turn into a coffee bar
Oh,
or
yeah,
have
no,
some martinis.
yeah, I love coffee, so it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah,
I just learned that it just wasn't fun for me anymore. and it wasn't healthy for me. And I also come from like a history of substance abuse from my family. And as much as I didn't want to fall into that, it still happened anyways, because I started drinking when I was like 15.
Mhm.
And when I was at the club as Heidi, even though I was 19, I still drink at the club because the customers would buy the drinks and nobody would say anything to me because I'm helping the server. Because the more drinks he buys, the bigger the tip he needs to give her. And the more drinks he buys, the more loosened up I'm going to be. But to have to be drunk to go to my, or to have to be drunk on my shift at the club to like get through like talking to these customers at like 19 years old, like it was not healthy for me. So like after 6 months of doing that, I just like I realized like I needed to cut it out, and not that I stopped drinking, but I realized like this job isn't for me because this was before Uber too. So you're like driving home drunk,
Oh, dang.
so
I
like
had the worst one. I used to get drunk. Yeah, when I was a manager, we would after the night closed, I would drink, or the sometimes the customers would buy me drinks, and I didn't want to turn them down, so I would drink,
right.
and I would drive home half. It was late at night. I'm tired. I'm falling asleep, so I just learned to. I would just go to sleep at the club. I'll lock the doors, just knock the hell out. But yeah,
Right.
it's very dangerous.
Yeah, there was times where because it was hard for me to be a house girl, I would pull doubles. So I would come in at like noon
Mhm.
and stay until the club closed till 2 a.m. So that way I wouldn't have to come in so I would do a doubles like 3 times a week. So it's like 6 shifts.
Yeah.
That way I wouldn't have to come in every night. And then, in a sense, the club kind of liked that because I was one of the prettier girls during the
Day
day.
shift. Hey, we love the day shift girls. That's like,
Then they were like, we want you to come back for the day shift. And then, so as I'm there during the day, I'm like, I'm already here. I might as well stay through the night shift so that way I can like take a full day off where I don't have to come in the club at all. But I've never had to be on substances to do porn. I've just no, I no. That's why I said like because people will ask me, they're like, well, don't you think stripping is easier than sex on camera? And I was like, not for me,
that's
not for
no, that's
me.
different, right? Because the strippers they would have to do. I would see them do lines of coke or do, you know what I mean, to get in
Because
that.
of that schedule. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to stay up, especially if you're working at like Vegas clubs. They never close. They just
right.
like
So they're on. They got to be on something to be up 6, 7,
yeah.
and
Yeah, like in New York, they're open till like 4 or 5 in the morning, the strip clubs too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking, now I know we didn't talk much about the sexual stuff. I'm pretty sure I'll ask you a couple things because I had a question about threesomes, and I was hearing somebody saying this. They were saying that like all women, low key, they have fantasies of being like with multiple partners. Is
Mhm.
that true? Would you say that was true?
So if we go back to like the dating questions,
Mhm.
um, whenever I've dated somebody and they've inquired about a threesome, I told them, "Oh, two guys."
And me, like if I was dating a girl, I would say heck no. So, but
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I thought you like girls." I'm like, "I do like girls, but I also like guys." And then they're like, "Well, I was thinking more like you and another girl." And I'm like, "Well, I was thinking, how about we do two guys first?
dang.
I'll agree to
Yeah.
me and you and another girl." Now, that's for my personal life, and that could be because I am working on my trust issues.
Mm.
So why in the fuck am I gonna gift you a threesome with me and another hot girl And then like, what about me? Like I want two guys. You want two girls, I want two guys. Like, let's be fair. And then
Oh,
they're like, well, just forget it. Just forget
yeah,
it.
yeah, I would probably say just forget
Like,
it.
okay, then
No, but okay, but
let me go to work then. I'll go to work.
uh, but on regular, like just in regular, not dating somebody, do you fantasize about things like that or no?
I think that before I got into porn, I did, because it was like, oh, this will be cool.
Mm.
Um, but because I've done it so many times, like I
A
don't
big
really
deal, huh?
fantasize about it because like I am like I'm into brunettes. So like and I like natural breasts. So like if I'm picking to have my threesome that's not work related. It's like, oh, I want the girl to look like this, like
You want her natural, all
yeah,
natural.
I like natural boobs, like brunettes. I like girls that are just kind of like exotic looking, they're more tan and stuff. Um, so I would probably be picky about like, well, which girl? Or I can just completely fuck with them and be like, okay, let's get a tranny.
Oh, dang. So you got that's messed up.
Oh, I'm a guy. It's perfect. We get both.
Yeah,
Yay.
messed up to
They
the
would definitely say no. From
yeah, they'd be like, no.
the history of guys that I've dated, yeah, they're all going to be like, fuck you.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's kind of messed up if they're trying to hit you up on a threesome. But I mean, yes. What if somebody was just like not cool with not even having a threesome or having just a regular relationship? Are you cool with that too, or
In my dating life,
yeah, in your dating life?
if somebody wasn't interested in
Yeah, they
threesomes,
just wanted a kind of vanilla style relationship and sex, vanilla style sex. Are you cool with that?
um, so like I'd be okay with it
Yeah.
because that makes me feel like I'm enough for you.
See,
And in terms of vanilla, like it just depends like how vanilla.
yeah,
Because there has been a guy that I've like, I don't know if I should say date because it was such a long distance. Maybe it was just more of like a friends with benefits because this is a
yeah,
person who literally travels to a different country like every few days. And so it was long distance. So it was like when they happened to be in the States, sometimes if we were both in Vegas at the same time, or if we were both in Chicago at the same time, or if we were both in California at the same time, uh, then we see each other and we spend time with each other, and like they were vanilla in the sense of like only in the bed.
mm,
Like to me, that's a little too vanilla. Like I
yeah.
want you to like, what like if I'm like super into you, it's like, well, let's like go in the bathroom or like go in the car or like
Yeah.
woods or like on the couch. We're already on the couch. Do we have to go to the bed? Like, like
That sounds
on
vanilla
the
to me.
kitchen counter. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know. So it's like if it's only in the bed, that's a little too vanilla for me.
So what about because I one time I was dating this girl and she wanted to watch porn with me, right? So
Okay.
but she did it was like a trick. She was saying, okay, what porn do you want to watch? And I'm like, well, what do you want to watch? Whatever turns you on. She says, let's watch a girl playing with herself. So we watched the girl playing with herself. And as I'm watching it, she starts getting mad at me because I'm watching the girl playing with her. She's like, oh, you're watching her, not me. I said, man. And then so
Why
we, huh?
like why is it on then? What
Yeah,
am
I
I
was like, what's the point of having this? What's like, I got tricked into, or I went to a strip club one time with her, and every girl that came to try to sit with us, she's like, oh no, we're fine, hon. You don't have to sit with us. I was like, why are we even here? So,
I will say that considering my dating history, my future husband probably won't be into strip clubs. There's a lot of guys I've dated seriously where they're not into strip clubs. They just don't I don't know. They just like they're like, I don't really want to go to a loud club and have girls come up to me asking me for money, and like if what if I'm not really that attracted to them, then I feel bad because like I know they're there working, and like I don't need them to like shake their ass in my face. Like I just rather like take a hot girl like you like out on a date, and then if we hit it off, then we can like something will happen.
You know,
It's like they don't have any interest in like
uh,
spending money at a strip club. Like they rather spend money like on dinner or something, but in a way that's good for me because it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to worry about you like budgeting your strip club money.
no, no, you know what? I think every great blue moon, like say we were dating, right? I would probably want a strip club, I mean, strip pole in my house. And then I would want to make it rain on you one night.
Yeah, that would be more fun. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that experience would be dope.
I had stripper poles in my like places that I've lived over time. The house that I'm in now, I don't have room for it. But the other houses that I've lived in before, I've always had a stripper pole. Well, especially because when I was future dancing, so I'd practice at home. And pole fitness is great. And
Yeah.
it's hard, but it's great. It's a great workout, and it's fun. It is fun learning how to like do tricks on the pole and stuff. Um, but yeah, I thankfully I won't have to worry about that. I think that might be a red flag for me if
Uh,
I start dating somebody and then he's like always at the strip club and be like, "Can you
nah,
spend that money on me?"
yeah, no, I would, like I said, I would want the girl, I would like say, hey, throw on them high heels. I want to make it rain on you tonight or something.
But there's like some girls that love strip clubs because when I was a feature, like there's some girls where I'm like I'm flirting with the girl more than I'm flirting with the guy, or like how you said, there's couples that go there together. So
Yeah,
it's like if you're mutually like enjoying this, then like have the time of your life. But
yeah.
if you're both kind of like, well, I can do without it, then it's like, okay, then let's just watch a movie and like,
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna see. I know we've been chopping it up for a while. It seems
yeah.
like, I mean, let me look up. I know, right? I mean, you're cool as can be, so it's cool. Let me
Yeah.
see if I have anything. Oh, you know what? Do you have any like do you have any fetishes off camera that you like?
Mm, it's like it's always like such a tough question because it's like, what is a fetish to me? And then what is a
Something,
fetish
it don't
to
have
another?
to be even a fetish, just something that you have to have like done to you or you like doing or just something that you
Well,
like.
like I don't have to have it done to me, but I do enjoy kind of like asphyxia. So like, choking, spank,
Choking,
spanking, maybe like hair pulling, a little sadistic
name calling.
behavior. Guy lets me spit in his mouth. Like, I don't know.
Hey, you know
Like,
what? That's hot though. I haven't had that yet, but that's pretty hot. Okay. Yeah. It's a
like
little
I'm trying to keep it clean.
yeah. What about like name calling? You like name calling or not? Not really.
Nothing degrading. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not into that. Like, I always tell people, I'm just like, don't slap me in the face. Like, don't
Yeah,
spit
nah.
at my face. Like,
Yeah.
I'll drop down to my knees and like I can be submissive, but like don't be like you stupid bitch. Like don't do that.
Nah, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy if dudes actually like doing that though. That's
But
wild.
there's some girls that like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They like to get smacked.
Not me, but
Yeah. All right. Okay. Before I wrap this up, I mean, what do you got coming up? What's something new? What should the fans be expecting? What's
I have a lot coming up. I kind of have to keep it under wraps since we're like in process right now. but there will be some new projects launching before the end of the year. I'm hoping before winter. Some are adult industry related and some are more mainstream related. And then there's just a couple of like, changes that I'm making of certain types of content that I'm going to implement on my sites. But like, I'm kind of just keeping it under wraps for now. Like, I don't want to give too much away. I like things to be a surprise. And I'm sure there'll be like a press release out about it once the launch happens. But there are going to be a few things that will release this year that I've never done before on camera. So, all of my fans or like super fans can definitely look forward to that. I love to keep them guessing. I always see their comments on Twitter, and sometimes I can't tell them like yes or no if it's happening because we haven't released the projects yet. But I do have a lot of projects coming up. So
A lot of projects coming up. What are your all your socials? Because we don't want anybody getting catfished or anything.
yes. So my Instagram and my Twitter /X, both of those main accounts are at Real Chloe Amour. So that's RealChloeAmour. And then I also have a backup Instagram, Real Chloe Amour 2.0. And then I have a backup Twitter, Amour de Chloe, which is AMOURDECHLOE. I have a TikTok as well. I'm trying to work on posting more
I
on my
keep getting
TikTok.
flagged on TikTok over and over.
That's why, yeah, like it's like you can easily get shadow banned on there, but it's the same. It's the same handle, Real Chloe Moore. They just got to make sure they spell it right. So that's my TikTok. And then like I'm working on like revamping my YouTube and then creating like other social media channels. So there's just like a lot of projects that I have going on at once. But those are the main places like you can go to try to find out information. I feel like Twitter is going to be the best bet if they're trying to find out like super naughty stuff,
Mhm.
because obviously everybody knows that you have to be very safe on Instagram and TikTok.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, like if there's anything new, they'll find it on one of those platforms. I have a Snapchat too, but like I'm trying to work on posting more on that as well. And that's Chloe Amour Prime. So CHLOEAMOURPRIME.
Yeah. All the socials right now. There's no reason to get catfished now. No reason.
Please don't get catfish. And then I'm just gonna throw Facebook out there because I have a feeling people are getting catfish on Facebook. So my Facebook is Chloe Moore Official, and it's a Facebook like page.
Okay.
But I have a feeling like the past few times people have been getting catfished have been through Facebook, because I think that's why when they see like a regular name,
Oh
but they
yeah.
see a face, they're like, oh, this must really be her. Like that's her real name. And it's like, no,
Damn.
no, it's not. Chloe is my name.
Chloe, come on, guys. Come on, get with it. Now you got no excuses. So if you're getting catfished, on you. That is on you.
Only time I'm going under a different name is like if I'm doing some sort of feature film or some sort of script where
Yeah.
like they changed the character name. Like I'm not Chloe in as the character. I'm Jennifer, Lauren, or Vivian, or whatever. That's the only time.
Yeah.
Other than that, on any socials, there's Chloe's got to be in there
Okay.
somehow.
Well,
That's
Chloe, I appreciate you taking the time. You were awesome. You got a great attitude. Now I
thank
wonder why you have so many fans. You're great.
thank
So
you so
yeah, I'm pretty sure in person you're even better, but you're great. You've been awesome. So
you.
yeah,
Well,
thank
thank you for having me. I'm glad we were able to make everything work, and I'm excited to see how this comes out once it's done.
you. Now, too, is there anything else you wanna talk about before I wrap it up? Or are you pretty much good?
I'm good because there's so many things I want to talk about, but I told you like I have to keep it under wraps right now. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe the next interview we can get it in person.
Yeah, like yeah, because there's a lot of things like in the works right now. So
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. It's your boy Invincible, and she was an awesome guest from Texas. Makes me want to go back to Texas and try some more Mexican food, but we'll wait till then. But thank you again. Appreciate it.
thank you. See you next time.
Okay.
Bye.